We're outside of Judge McAdams' court. It is September 28th, and the hearing with Lancelin versus Ellis, PA 2405, was continued today, will meet. We anticipate that Judge McAdams will fairly quickly approve for the fall visit for Patrick Lancelin to visit his children, Tucker and Cassidy, in New York. Hi, what's your name?
Emily Maloney.
Emily, we're doing a documentary on family law and what it does with families, and I'd really be interested in your comments.
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned earlier, I do very little family law, and the only family law cases I will take are where both parties are willing to work things out amicably. I had one case in particular where the young man came to me. I had been acquainted with his parents, and I stressed to him the fact that he had to have amicable relations with the wife for the sake of the children. And I said if he wasn't willing to do that, I would not would not handle it. And he seemed to be very surprised that this was acceptable, because he was getting a lot of pressure from his mother to get rid of this woman. And I think that sight was being lost of the well-being of the children. So I insisted that he had to have amicable relations with her. And this was a number of years ago, and it's worked out well, very well, as far as I know. But if they don't,
would you say that you're a typical attorney, or do you sort of break the mold with that attitude?
Well, I would hope that this would reflect the attitude of all attorneys, but I'll have to say that I'm afraid that where there are a lot of assets involved, a lot of property involved, there could be a temptation on the part of the attorneys to take an adversarial position because it could benefit their fees. But I'd hate to accuse my sister and brother attorneys of doing that, but I think there's always that temptation.
And have you found that mediation is very successful for families that are, they've already split apart usually by the time they get in the family law system? And
well, as I say, the very few cases I've had, I've insisted that they have these amicable relations. So in that sense, I'm the mediator, and it's worked out very well. I've had more than one case of this kind. I cited just the one, but I think there's a resistance a lot of times. Again, probably where there's a lot of property involved, where they may want to fight it out. But I know more and more efforts are being made by attorneys to mediate these cases, these kinds of cases.
Thank you, Emily Maloney.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name?
Jose Manuel Romero.
Jose, could you tell us a little bit about your case here in the family law court?
Well, the only thing I can say, everything is so emotional when it comes to family feuds and things like that, that sometimes it's really hard to all of a sudden come out with words to explain, what the feelings are. But I feel like a lot of things can be reformed if fathers, they want their children, can have their children to their custody. If we want to go farther, we can save a lot on welfare. A lot of fathers do want their children, like myself. A lot of fathers, they don't want the children. That's their case.
Do you feel that the courts have supported you as a father with your child?
So far, my case regarding custody, I have 60-40, which she has 60%, I have 40%. I still, like temporary, the decision has not been made totally. I do feel a little left down. I feel like it could be better in different aspects of this case. I feel like I have give everything I had, and I for nothing in return, and I feel like I have done give 100%, 125% of my abilities, my love and everything for this family. And to come out with some false allegations that were against me and that nothing was proved me wrong. So I'm innocent of all cases and of all allegations, and I feel that it's just kind of hard to accept that, especially when the judge, one of the judges in Santa Cruz County, put me out of my house with no grounds. If you go by the book, I would have never been out of my house. But he said, I have done it, it's done, and the only thing I can do is give you a fast court date, which is not right.
And have you paid a lot of money in court fees or lawyers' fees over this case?
Yes, lots of money. I spent close to $20,000, and now I don't even have to pay my bills in the end of the month.
So this has pretty much bankrupted you, would you say?
Totally, yes, 100%.
And how about the relationship you have with your child now? Is that close, or has there been some distancing?
No, the relationship with my child has been great because I put 125% to be there when he needs me and extra. I try to not talk to him about any of the problems between both parties. So I try to make the best every little second that I'm with him.
I appreciate your sharing what's happened to you with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
A little closer to me.
Okay.
And hi, what's your name?
Ashton Braithwaite.
Ashton, could you tell me a little bit about what's happened with you and your family with the family law system in Santa Cruz County?
Well, I can't comment on the Santa Cruz law system that much because my case started over 2.5 years ago. I was living in Texas with my child and my wife. I was at work one day. I came home early because my wife said she was ill that day, and I found that the place was emptied out. A car that I bought 3 days before, wrote a check for $14,000, was gone. Furniture was gone. And of course she took money out of the bank account, not doing the arithmetic, which bounced a check for the car. And that's one thing, but the main thing was that my child was gone. And I had to, hire private detectives to try and find her. That was a 4-month ordeal. It was approximately 6 months till I saw my child again.
Ashton, because she was your wife?
Yes,
Yeah, because she committed a parental abduction, didn't that put you in the catbird seat custody-wise? Didn't you get sole custody after that?
Well, if I was a female, that might have made a difference.
Entering the court now is Lee Gulliver, attorney for the children. Okay. Standing at the desk is Philip Buckwalter, the attorney for Lynn and Charles Capone, an attorney from Fremont. Philip Buckwalter was the man that Judge Kelsey said was the worst attorney he'd seen in 17 years on the bench. Hi, Bob LaMonica, you were in today's proceedings.
I certainly was, and I think the most startling thing that I heard was the phrase, bearing false witness, serious allegations, over and over again. These guys think they have perfected the shell game. They will run people ragged. They will destroy credibility. They will humiliate. And they think that there's no recourse and no reprisal.
Gulliver keeps bringing up and nitpicking and stirring and frustrating and pushing and taking. I have proof right here of the liens on the house and everything else, and she's billing me at this very point for this outrageous the person with the attorney, it's not important. But if it would have been the other way around, I can guarantee you that it would have been quite different.
Mr. Lancelin, could you comment on how the children's attorney is acting on behalf of your children?
I think that the children's attorney is acting on behalf of her own reputation and her own interests. And I might add, she has a $15,000 lien on my house, which I am currently in foreclosure because no one seems to be able to give us the count and the amount. How this works is these children's attorneys are appointed by the court, and they bill the county because most of the people are on AFDC. Therefore, the county pays the bill, and usually the parents never survive this assault on the family, and usually they never see the billing. In my case, I happen to be successful enough to finish my house and get over this sad thing. But when I requested the billing, it took 2.5 years to get it. And when I did see the billing, it was like a, what is it, the Wizard of Oz Golden Trail there? I noticed that there was breadcrumbs leading all the way to Miss Gulliver's bank account. And it was my bread from my house. It's just not right. The families of America deserve better than to be hoodwinked by a bunch of sniveling puke gutter snipes that they are. These people need to be stopped. Capone, he stated so, wrote letters to everyone, and just did it. He just did it in contempt of court, against the law, against the court orders. He just did it. And he did it in a way that harmed the children. He would hang up in the middle of our goodbyes just because it was exactly that very second. At that second, Mr. Capone was holding that. And then other things he would do was put on a videotape or take the kids to a circus at that very hour when they know that the hour block of time is 2 hours every Monday between 2 and 4 o'clock California time, and they would know this.
And how is that time slot chosen? Who chose that time?
Capone's changed it when Sundays wasn't good enough because they thought that Sundays was not a good day. I guess they wanted to hamper my abilities. What does everybody else do between 2 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Mondays? They work. It's right in the middle of a work day. It's a strategy. It's a strategy to destroy the other parent by getting more control of the children, by getting more of the money, by getting more of the support from the district attorney's office, by getting more of the legal modus operandi to crush the other party. There is no mediation here. It's about winning. It's not about the families, and there's just a winner and a loser, and this is the problem, because why have one parent lose?
Now I understand that the packages and letters that you sent to the children were returned to you. Has Ms. Gulliver done anything to remedy that situation?
She's added fuel to the fire. I don't even bother telling her when they do outrageous stuff anymore. She says I harass her and send her faxes and make complaints that aren't so.
Has she produced any of those faxes that she considered to be out of order?
I have a briefcase of solid, a tier of evidence big enough to topple a 10-story building here. And she just goes in there and says,
So she has not produced any of these faxes that she was complaining to you about?
She has produced nothing but billing.
Thank you so much.
This is airing on CNN. No.
Left Judge McAdams' court. He has ordered that visitation occur in New York State.